Welcome to the first episode of the Courage Coaching and Counseling Podcast. Guys, with Savon Penn. I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Portland. I've been dreaming about doing this podcast for 8, 10 years, finally doing it. And I hope the story of how this happens will come out in the podcast. But this podcast is to encourage and inspire you to take courageous action, to be more courageous in your life, to get unstuck and not overthink things like I did. Um, and it's hopefully it'll help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I don't want to just evoke emotion and inspire you to consume content. I want to encourage and empower you to move. And during the week, I do individual and couples counseling. Love working with couples. Uh, I also work as a health coach the other half of the week, helping patients with healthy habits and behavior change, like healthy eating and physical activity, stress management, quitting tobacco, healthy sleep. Uh, but this podcast will be hearing the stories from a few different types of people. So first, I'm going to ask fellow therapists and coaches to come on and talk about their specialties, the areas of mental health, emotional health, relational health that they help folks with, and learn from them about life. Hear from coaches about their specialties and the things that they coach people in. Half of the week, uh, uh, I do health coaching, or during the week, I like to train martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Uh, did that, have done that for years. So hoping to talk Jiu-Jitsu at some point, to bring some coaches on, talk about how uh, martial arts training can help with the other areas of life. I'm going to invite folks that have been through therapy to talk about the difference that therapy has made in their lives, what they've learned, how it's helped, um, to hear their stories, and also kind of ask them about their milestones and defining moments in their life where they had to be courageous. Um, and I, I, I love hearing stories. Is my favorite part of being a counselor is just hearing people's stories and seeing how they overcome their challenges, their limiting beliefs, their past, uh, how they heal from pain and grief, how they experience redemption and healing in their relationships, in their life, uh, how things that are broken get restored. So that's going to be a big part of the podcast. I'm going to ask moms and dads to come on and talk about their families. Uh, I don't. I think I mentioned my wife and I. We've been married almost 27 years. Julie, uh, our kids, Catherine, JJ, and Gracelyn. Uh, they go. She goes by Grace. Um, we've learned a lot. So I'll be sharing a little bit about our family. But it's always great to hear what from other parents, what they've learned, lessons learned, what's gone well, what's not gone well, and kind of hear their unique perspectives and wisdom to yeah navigate parenting. This past year has been really tough for lots of families, including ours. So I'm really looking forward to learning from other parents. Another group I'm going to invite on are creatives and artists and musicians and writers, to kind of hear about their creative process and learn how they uh, stay creative, how they stay brave, how they stay courageous, putting out their art, putting themselves out in the world. Um, and entrepreneurs, same thing. Folks that have small businesses, or businesses, asking them how they built their business, how they are successful, learn about their process, uh, learn about their daily and weekly rhythms and how they make things work. Another group of folks that you'll be hearing from on this podcast are church leaders and pastors, ministry leaders, because I want to invite them to talk about how church, uh, churches, leadership can work better with therapists to reduce mental health stigma, to increase mental health awareness, to make their church communities supportive and safe and helpful for folks who are struggling with mental health, emotional health, who are struggling with isolation and depression, disconnection, families who have special needs and need support, uh, especially now during the pandemic, um, with isolation and disconnection, and how we do church and how we do community and friendships and relationships, how that's evolving and changing. So I want to have that discussion. Does that sound good? I hope you'll subscribe, and hope you'll enjoy these conversations with folks. Please comment, give feedback about guests that you'd like to hear from or topics that you'd like to cover. And yeah, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be fun. Oh, I forgot to mention, I like to read. And so I'm going to share what I'm learning, what I'm reading, and hopefully it'll add value to life. It'll help you to grow and feel supported. And so look forward, not just for you hearing this podcast, but look forward to connecting with you through the podcast. Take care, guys.